Shalom Yasharallah, giving all praise and glory to the Most High Power, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. His words be praised for everything. We say hello, Yah, to his holy and glorious name. I'm going into scriptures pertaining to Mashayach Yahawashi tonight. So I want to, as always, start off with Colossians 3 and 17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all by Shama Mashayach Yahawashi. Give me thanks to the Most High and the Father by Shama Mashayach Yahawashi. So we're going to get started here. We're going to go into 1 Corinthians, the 4th chapter, and verse 10. All that we say and do is going to be in the name of the Lord and Savior of Mashayach Yahawashi. We give thanks to the Most High, who is the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob is the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel: Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. So we look at 1 Corinthians 4 and 10. It says, we are fools for Mashayach Yahawashi's sake. And that's Mashayachim's sake, because we are Mashayachim. And you look at the previous lesson, I showed you in 1 Corinthians 3:23, Mashayach Yahawashi said, ye are Mashayachim, which we are, belong to the anointed. And Mashayach Yahawashi is the Most High. That's why he said in St. John 14 and 6, I am the way to show you how to follow the truth, which is the commandments of the Most High that's going to lead to everlasting life. He said, no man come to the Father but by him. So he said, we are fools for Mashayachim's sake, but ye are wise by Shama Mashayach Yahawashi. That's when you see in Christ, as it's written as in the name of the Lord and Savior. We are weak, but ye are strong, Paul is saying. Ye are honorable. There's a lot of people in this world that's honorable right now, but we are despised. You know, showing that we're not really loved like a lot of these mega preachers or so-called ministers are in this world, and dealing with nothingology as far as dealing with what this Bible is really talking about. And we as a people coming back to our heritage and our language and culture and so forth is void. We don't even know who we are as a people. We can't even identify ourselves in the Bible. I have 122 identities asking my brothers primarily, what's your race? 122. That's lost. That's why we are the lost 12 tribes of Israel that this Bible is talking about. And we despise. But it's okay, because when you look at Mashayach Yahawashi, how was he looked upon? When he was on the earth. If we Mashayach him, hey, look how he was looked upon. Isaiah 53. Let's start at verse 2. It says, for he shall grow up. So Mashayach Yahawashi, Isaiah prophesied about Mashayach Yahawashi before him as a tender plant and as a root out of the dry ground. We know water. They didn't have a word like they needed, because he is the word coming. And as a root out of a dry ground, he had no form, no comeliness. He wasn't handsome. And he wasn't built. And when we shall see him, there was no beauty that we should desire him. You hear that? He wasn't handsome. It's telling you point blank, was no beauty that we should desire him. And a lot of you look at people that don't look well, you know, and y'all look down upon them. How would you deal with a Mashayach Yahawashi? You've probably been the same ones that put him down. Look what it says. He is despised. Isn't that what it says going to happen with us? He said, he is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. And we hid, as it were, our faces from him. You hear that? They turned their face away. Oh, here he come. Oh, they ran away from him. He was despised. You hear him the first time, so the Most High speak once, twice. He said a second time, he was despised, and we esteemed him not. But surely he had borne or carried our griefs and carried our sorrows. Yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of the Most High, and afflicted. See? But he was wounded for our transgressions, the 12 tribes of Israel. Transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities, for the things that we did wrong. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. And with his stripes, we are healed. A lot of you Christians, insanity people, y'all like to use that particular part of the scripture only. We're healed through his stripes and what he went through. As long as his blood was bled, and it was bled, he bled his blood was shed for me. All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned everyone to his own way, especially now, in this day and time now. For real, for real. And the Most High have laid on him the iniquity of us all. Everything that we've done wrong, he came to the earth to cover it. He was oppressed. That's what Mashayach Yahawashi. He was oppressed. So did that say that sound like he was really loved? He was oppressed and he was afflicted. Yet he opened not his mouth. When he brought him to the judgment, he didn't say nothing. He is brought as a lamb to the slaughter because he is that ultimate lamb. And as a sheep before her shears is dumb, so he opened not his mouth. He was taken from prison and from judgment. And who shall declare his generation? For he was cut out of the land of the living. He was cut out of the land of the living. For the transgression of my people was he stricken. Now God identified who my people is, because a lot of people think they read the Bible and because they go to church, they're the Most High's people, and you're not. The Bible clearly lets you know who my people is. We can go to Matthew 2:6. It's clear, without a shadow of a doubt. What it says, he was cut out of the land of the living, for the transgression of my people was he stricken. Matthew 2:6 defines who that my people is in the New Testament. That's why I say people are not really being taught the truth of what this Bible is really talking about. Matthew 2:26. No, Matthew 2:6, I like it. Excuse me. And thou, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, art not the least among the princes of Judah. For out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel. You see? So we are the Israelites. And when you go back to Isaiah 53:8, it says, he was cut out of the land of the living, out of the land of Israel, for the transgression of my people was he stricken. So the transgression is breaking the Most High's laws. Because when you define sin in 1 John 3:4, First John, the 3rd chapter, the 4th verse defines what sin is in the New Testament. They're not dealing with this because they say you're not under the law, you're under grace. But here it is, right here in the New Testament, defined in 1 John 3:4. Whosoever committeth sin transgresses also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law that the Most High wrote with his finger. That he gave the Most High's people, the 12 tribes of Israel. Who he give the law to? Who did he give the law to? And welcome everybody to give a like as you come in. And subscribe to the channels. We got to go to Psalms 147:19 and 20. What did it say? It say, he showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel, to the 12 tribes of Israel. What did it say? He have not dealt so with any nation. So he only showed his word and his statutes and judgments to the 12 tribes of Israel. Because he's telling you clearly here, he have not dealt so with any nation. So he have not dealt so with any nation. Listen, and as for his judgments, which is the punishment for breaking the Most High's laws, they have not known them. They have not known them. Say, praise you the Most High. So the other nations, they don't know the they don't know the laws of the Most High because it wasn't given to them. Clearly. That's why it says he was bruised for the transgressions of the 12 tribes of Israel. Going back to Isaiah 53. It says, he was cut off out of the land of the living. For the transgression of my people was he stricken. And he made his grave with the wicked. This is when this is prophecy of what he was going to have to go through when he came on the earth in the flesh. He made his grave with the wicked and with the rich in his death. Because remember, the rich man came in and got his body. Rich man came and got his body. Because he had done no violence, neither was any deceit in his mouth. Listen at this closely, y'all, because a lot of you think you know the Most High, but listen to what it says. Yet it pleased the Most High to bruise him. He had put him to grief, in offering for sin, for the sins of the 12 tribes of Israel, who the Most High gave the laws to, who the Most High gave the commandments to. His soul was made an offering for sin. He shall see his seed, he shall prolong his days, and the pleasure of the Most High shall prosper in his hand, because he gave him a kingdom that's going to last forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. So, as you see, he was despised. He wasn't loved. They didn't love him. They didn't love him. Going back to First Corinthians, the 4th chapter. And think within yourself, he knew he had to go through this. He knew this. A lot of things that's written, he already knew. Because he was part of knowing what's going to happen in prophecy of the Old Testament. You see? So going back to 1 Corinthians 4 and 10. So we are fools for Mashayach Yahawashi's sake, being Mashayachim, being the anointed. But ye are wise by Shama Mashayach Yahawashi, in the name of the anointed Savior. We are weak. Paul said, but ye are strong. Ye are honorable. You have all this exaltation, but we are despised. That's why I want to show you how Mashayach Yahawashi was despised. They didn't like him. They turned their face away from him. They didn't want to look at him. He wasn't handsome. He wasn't a beautiful person to look upon, or handsome, I might say. Even unto this present hour, we both hunger, he's saying, and thirst, and are naked, and are buffeted. That means check this way, that way. Somebody always looking to try and dissect them and, bring them down, and have no certain dwelling place. They even have no place if they really could actually live continually as we do in this day and time. He would have said, and have no certain dwelling place. Meaning they have to live here, and live there, and live there, and live there. Well, I say we can really get really high-minded and prideful and not even realizing what our ancestors went through. Mashayach Yahawashi said he had no place to put his head. He said, have no certain dwelling place. He said, and labor, working with our own hands, being reviled, you working, and then somebody reviling you, we bless, he said. This is real spiritual because this is when you look at the way the world that we come up in, somebody says something, you react to that. You know what he said? Being reviled, we bless. This is for our people though. Children of Israel, not everybody. They ain't talking about these nations, talking about this is how we were against them. He said, we bless. Being persecuted, we suffer it. You know? Being reviled, say we bless. Bless you. May the Most High bless you. Being persecuted, say we suffer it. Take a certain spiritual awareness to be able to even have this type of mindset to do this. Being defamed, we entreat, he said. We are made as the filth of the world. You hear this? I'm talking to all you prideful suckers out there that think you this, that, the third, whatever, whatever. I don't care what you know or whatever your position is in this world. You hear what he said? He said, we are made as the filth of the world and are the offscouring of all things unto this day. That don't sound like it was a world of happiness to me. Sound like a lot of feelings of really being put down and not really looked upon as anyone of importance, for sure. Wouldn't you say? That's why you have to look at this in our plight of being humble and having a broken, contrite spirit and not allow the flesh to overtake the spirit, to be spiritual, to roll like a Mashayach Yahawashi, like we read, he didn't say nothing. He didn't have to say anything. Because everything is in the Most High's hand. But you can eliminate the Most High and put yourself in there, and now you're in the flesh. Because as I read, St. John 4:24 says the Most High is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him how? In spirit and in truth. So you got to be spiritual to even attempt to be rolling with the Most High. And it's not a temporary thing. It's not a sometime thing either. You can't be wavering. And we know the truth is Psalms 119, 142. That righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. So you're not gonna gainsay any way, shape, or form without doing what he say do. If he took the time to give us these laws, and we're gonna say, oh well, I can deal with that, but I ain't gotta deal with this. I can deal with this, but I ain't gotta deal with that. No, it don't work that way. He said, eat the whole roll. When he came to probably say, eat the whole roll. We have to eat the whole thing. So here we are. Look at 1 Corinthians. Verse 14. 1 Corinthians 14. If you come in, hit the like button and subscribe to the channels. It says, but the natural man, 1 Corinthians 2:14, but the natural man, which is carnal man, receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High. See, the natural man going to find a way to do it his own way, and not the way that the Most High said we're supposed to do it. The natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High, but they are foolishness unto him, you know. Neither can he know them. Why? Because they are spiritually discerned. They're spiritually unawares of how to be spiritual. And a lot of people have so much pride that they're not going to inquire of how can I be more spiritual. They're just going to roll it, they roll all the way to damnation till they realize it's too late. They even try and learn. You see? You see? It says, but he that is spiritual judges all things. Yet he himself is judge of no man. Why? Because he's in the spirit and knowing how to operate with the Most High. And you ain't dealing with the Most High if he ain't in your conversation. All you do is listen. I'm a very good listener. Without bringing him up, he's not in people's conversations. Like, that's how you can say whatever, but people are in this great multitude of sorceries, witchcraft that has been put in this earth right now, knowing that the devil got a short time. And you can look at it any way you want to and saying you don't have a part of whatever you're dealing with in your mind, your speech, and your actions. But when you look at what it is that you bring forth and going into the books for your own behalf, because you are talking about the Most High, you love the Most High, and you have to have something about you to be able to give him all the glory and acknowledge him for the real little things, like the water Most High for allowing you to see another day closer to the kingdom. You hear me? I've been saying this for years and years and years, just another day. Some people didn't get this day. They didn't get this day. And a lot of you're no different than Christian sanity. Your particular way of a relationship with him is just through prayer. After that, everything is about I, me, my life, 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 my life. But it ain't about him. That's why if you're spiritual, remember I told you, he's a spirit. St. John 4:24. And they that worship him worship him first and foremost in spirit and in truth. So you got to know how to worship him in spirit. That's first. And keeping the commandments. You see? And when you start to worship him in spirit, then spiritual things going to start happening in your life, miracles, where this is supposed to be this way, but it's not that way. Why? Because you're in the spirit with him. He the only one going to deliver us. That's what I say. And when you like that and you're doing what you're supposed to do in connection with the Most High and do what he say do, his rules and regulations, his laws, his commandments, then you become spiritual. And why would you be judged of another man when you really doing what you're supposed to do? Because you got those that's always looking, trying to find something wrong. You have those, just like we just read. They despise Mashayach Yahawashi. They despise Paul and everybody, all the apostles, everybody. Matter of fact, they put them to death. That's how much they hated them. Every last one of them. Mashayach Yahawashi and all the apostles. How about that? That sounds like a lot of love to you? When you read the people, and matter of fact, the prophets too. Think about it. We're reading people that, they was bringing forth the word of the Most High, they were put to death. What kind of world we in? These are the things, you know, that they crying to the Most High, asking him when he gonna come and revenge the blood that was shed for them doing the work. That's why I say, but he that is spiritual judges all things, yet he himself is judged of no man. Because he's going to be doing the right thing. First and foremost, with the Most High, with the Mashayach Yahawashi, and with his nation. But who have known the mind of the Most High? Nobody. That he may instruct him. That's why I have a problem with AMEN at the end of a prayer. So be it. You heard what I said? What's the difference between so be it and you heard what I said? That hit me hard, man. I was like, and then the Most High opened my mind to understand that Zeus, the Greek god, Alexander, the Greek freak, set up Zeus and gave him the last name AMEN. And you can go and Google it. This ain't something that's, you know, I'm just making up. We're going to go right into it. Deep into this, man. I mean, these are the things that we have to look at to change. That's one of my servants said, you got to be born again. That's what we talk about, just change. I don't have to say that. You know, the angels are saying, holy, holy, holy before the Most High. Faster than I can even say it, and you can say it. That's why I say, for who have known the mind of the Most High, his ways and thoughts, not our ways and thoughts, that he may instruct him. Isn't that instruction? Isn't that telling the Most High something? When you're told, you're prayed to him, and then in the end you say, AMEN, and then I'm saying the mindset that you have and understanding what you think AMEN means and representing so be it. To me, that's like you heard what I said. And then not only that, you're calling on this Greek god, deity, Zeus. That's his last name. They put it in the Bible. So you be doing it. And we're trying to find a way to justify it. We sure will. We'll find a way to justify anything. Because we don't want to change. We don't want to change. You know, I was looking at some footage that was 20, 26, 27 years ago. Teaching on the street, street teaching. I don't have the same spirit as I had then. And the things that I was doing, the things that I thought, the spirit ain't never stopped. You see? It's got to get better, more, increase more. But you got to desire more to get more. Look, it's very important that we see this. Let's look at Isaiah 45. Isaiah 45. Y'all bear with me. I'm just just feeling it in the spirit, you know. Don't mind me. I'm just Isaiah 45 and 25. It says, in the name of the anointed Savior, you see, in the LORD. So they put that in there too. That's another thing. LORD. Let me show you what that means. I have to keep putting in your face because I said the Most High speak once, said twice, man perceive it not. So BAAL, you see it right there? Can you see that? BAAL means LORD. LORD. And they put it in there knowing that we wouldn't say BAAL, but we sure saying LORD. And we wear that out. But it's in all Bible dictionaries. I'm not going to go, I was going to go into other Bible dictionaries, but I'm just going to leave that alone. So Isaiah 45 and 25, it says, In the name of the anointed Savior, that's Bashama Mashayach Yahawashi, shall all the seed of Israel be justified and shall glory to the glory of the Most High. But it's going to be in the name of the anointed Savior. That's why I say no man come to the Father but by Mashayach Yahawashi. He said, you ask anything in my name, I will do it. He said, if you love me, do what? Keep my commandments. Do what he say, do. That's all. He did what the Most High said, told him to do, all the way to the tree and death. He never gave in to this wicked world that he was in. And the Romans, the ones that killed him, and wicked Israelites gave him over to the Romans, you see? And he already knew this because it's written. We just read about him in Isaiah, the 53rd chapter. It was already written. He coming on the earth, you know that this is going to happen. It's just a matter of when your time is, you know. And he knew when his time was. Remember Moses and Elijah came and told him. That was in Matthew 17 chapter. Let me show you. A lot of times, you know, when he taught the spies, they wanted to kill him. They was throwing rocks at him. He had to run through the crowd and get away from these crazy Israelites. Look at Matthew the 17th chapter, since we talk about Mashayach Yahawashi. Look at, and after 6 days, verse 1, Mashayach Yahawashi taking Peter, James, and John, his brother, and bringing them up into an high mountain apart, right? And was transfigured before them. So he changed, and his face did shine as the sun, and his raiment was white as the light. So he transfigured right in front of them. And behold, there appeared unto them Moses and Elijah talking with him. Remember Moses and Elijah, we know Elijah was taken up. Moses, they don't know where his grave is. Then answered Peter and said unto Mashayach Yahawashi, Mashayach Yahawashi, you see they put L-O-R-D there. It is good for us to be here. If thou wilt, let us make here 3 tabernacles. One for thee, one for Mashayach Yahawashi, and one for Moses, and one for Elijah. While he yet spake, behold, a bright cloud overshadowed them. What is this cloud? Because you say a bright cloud overshadowed them. What is this cloud? It's defined in Psalms 104 and 3. Psalms 104 and 3. It says, in defining what this cloud is, so you see cloud in the Bible, you'll know what it is. Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot. You see? So the clouds are the chariots, or the IFOs. We call them IFOs, identified flying objects, whereas the white man might call them UFOs, unidentified flying objects. We know what they are. That's why we sung the song, Sweet Low, Sweet Chariot, coming for to carry me home. You see? So when you look at clouds, it's talking about the chariots. So now, going back to, now that we know that is what they call flying saucers or UFOs, but we call them IFOs, identified flying objects. Go back to Matthew 17 and verse 5. See, while he yet spake, behold, a bright cloud, which is a chariot, which is what we call a flying saucer or vehicle that the angels drive, overshadowed them. And behold, a voice out of the cloud which said, this is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear ye him. You see? And when the disciples heard it, they fell on their face and were so afraid. They heard that, they scared them. Man, so what is this? And you know, the Most High voice is like thunder. So telling them how strong it was that, you know, he's saying, hey, hear ye him. No different than when we're in the wilderness. Let's go back to the wilderness when we came out of Egyptian captivity. And the Most High was speaking to Moses And he was talking, we the 12 tribes of Israel in the wilderness in Deuteronomy 18th chapter and verse 15. First and foremost, it says, the Most High power, thy power, yours a personal possessive pronoun showing ownership. That's thy is your, because a lot of y'all say, well, the King James Bible got too many thys and these and all that stuff. Thy is nothing but your. Thee is nothing but the. Come on. Don't y'all better than that. It say the Most High, your power, which is thy power, will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren. So it has to be an Israelite. Like it tells you in Hebrews 7:14, for it is evident, it's a fact, that our power, Mashayach Yahawashi, sprang out of Judah. That's our forefather Jacob's fourth born son, right? So it said it has to be of thy brethren, like unto me, he said. Unto him ye shall hearken. Hearken and him ye shall hear, right? So now let's look at verse 18. He's saying the same thing. He said, I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, and will put my words in his mouth. I can't get no clearer than that. Mashayach Yahawashi, I went to this, how he's the word of the Most High. I will put my words in his mouth, right? And he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. So that's why when you look at St. John 14, I believe it is. Look at verse 8. Philip asked him a question. Philip said unto him, St. John 14 and 8, Mashayach, show us the Father. You want to see the Father. And it suffices. It'll satisfy us. Mashayach said to him, have I been so long time with you? And yet hast thou not known me, Philip? He said, he that hath seen me hath seen the Father. And I'll say, if thou then show us the Father. Say, listen what he said. Well, is he going to be the word of the Most High? Believest thou not that I am in the Father and the Father in me? Listen what he's saying. The words that I speak unto you, I speak not of myself, but the Father that dwelleth in me, he doeth the works. So he let him know the words that he's speaking is not his own, but the Father's words. Say, believe me that I am in the Father and the Father in me, or else believe me for the very word's sake. You see? So, and it tells you in John 1 and 1, as far as him being that word of the Most High, I tell you right here. In the beginning, that's all the way back to Genesis 1 and 1, was the word. And the word was with the Most High. And the word was a Mashayach Yahawashi. What does it say? The same was in the beginning with the Most High. You see? So he is the word of the Most High. And only that, go to when he come back to judge and make war and set righteousness on this earth. What is his name going to be called? Revelation 19 and verse 13. Revelation 19 and 13. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood. He's coming to judge and make war. I'll tell you that in verse 11. His garment going to be dipped in blood. And his name is called the Word of the Most High. Can't get no clearer than that. His name is called the Word of the Most High. So that's it. So let's go back to Matthew 17. Verse 5 again. While he yet spake, behold, a bright cloud, his chariot, his iron foe, identified flying object, overshadowed them. And behold, a voice out of the cloud which said, this is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear ye him. Because he the word of the Most High. straight up, just like that. And when the disciples heard it, they fell on their face and were so afraid. See, does that mean they have fear? Because a lot of times when I ask y'all what's the fear of the Most High, it's every answer except for to be afraid and be scared. They heard a voice and they fell on their face. They didn't want to look up. And they were scared. They were so afraid just from that voice. And the Mashayach came and touched them and said, arise. Be not afraid. Don't be fearing. Don't have no fear. He said, arise and be not afraid. And when they had lifted up their eyes, they saw no man, save a Mashayach Yahawashi only. And as they came down from the mountain, the Mashayach charged them, saying, tell the vision. You see, it's a vision. Tell the vision to no man until the Son of Man be risen again from the dead. And the disciples asked him, saying, oh, that goes into something else pertaining to John the Baptist. But you see, it was a vision. That's why we have to, I should have went there earlier, but let's go there to Job 33 and 14 to show you how the Most High speak to a lot of people, mostly everyone. Job 33, 33rd chapter and the 14th verse, you see it was a vision. Because a lot of you probably trying to figure out how they see Elijah and Moses, and they had been, transitioned. It says, for the Most High speaking once, yeah, twice, yet man perceives it not. That's why a lot of times the Most High repeat himself. Like certain topics have to be repeated because our people don't get it. He know that. He said in a dream, in a vision of the night. Just like it was a vision of the night that he was dealing with, them seeing Moses and Elijah with a Mashayach Yahawashi in a dream and a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men and slumberings upon the bed. Then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instruction. He tell us what we're going to do, that he may withdraw man from his purpose and hide pride from man. You see, you're going to do what the Most High say do. That's what he's saying. He's going to make sure you do what he say do. So let's look at John, the 5th chapter. John 5 and 26. For as the Father have life in himself, so have he given to the Son to have life in himself, and have given him authority to execute judgment also, because he is the Son of Man. See, that's why when you go to verse 22, the Most High has given him this authority. You see, it's just like the Most High owns everything. But you don't ever see the Most High. You know, I've seen the Most High. So we got a Mashayach Yahawashi we got to go through. He's like the mediator between us and him anyway. You see? And from verse 22, well, let's go look at 19, because now we've established that his words were the words of the Most High. Now he's going to tell you the actions that he does. It's still going to be what he see the Most High do. So let's jump up to verse 19, St. John 5 and 19. Then answered the Mashayach Yahawashi and said unto them, verily, verily, truly, truly, I say unto you, the Son of Man could do nothing of himself. You see? He said, I'm not doing anything by myself. He said, but what he seeth the Father do. You see that? Say, what I'm doing is what I see the Father do. For what things soever he doeth, the Most High doeth, these also doeth the Son likewise. For the Father loveth the Son and showeth him all things that himself doeth. And he will show him greater works than these, that ye may marvel. He's saying, what you see now, he gonna show you much greater, more greater works than these that I've done so far, that you're gonna be very impressed. He's saying, for as the Father raises up the dead and quickeneth them, even so the Son quickeneth whom he will. Remember, he rose up Lazarus. That's when when he rose Lazarus up, as he had been the siege for 4 days, they was like, man, we got to get rid of this cat. He raising up the dead, you know, and they plotted to get rid of him, and they did. But he had, we just read in Isaiah 53rd chapter, the prophecy, he had to come and he had to be, you know, crucified for the sins of the 12 tribes of Israel. It was already prophesied. It says, verse 22, for the Father judges no man, but have committed all judgment unto the Son. You see? The Most High judges no man, but have committed all judgment unto the Son. I got to tell you, like, he allowed a Mashayach Yahawashi to run it for him. But remember, a Mashayach Yahawashi had what? The word of the Most High must have a voice, and from a voice come words, and he is the word of the Most High. And whatever he just told you, whatever you see the Most High do, that's what he's doing. Most High gonna say, do this, he gonna do it. Say this, he gonna say it. In the judgment. Because we got to learn 1,000 years to be able to approach the Most High, man. We ain't ready for that. I don't know what people think. You better read your Bible and really, if you don't know, you better ask. You better ask. Just coming up with your own explanation of who he is. Like we just read, who know the mind of the Most High? Who will instruct him? People try to. But the Father judges no man, but have committed all judgment unto the Son, the Mashayach Yahawashi, that all men should honor the Son, even as they honor the Father. He that honoreth not the Son, honoreth not the Father, which hath sent him. You see? Verily, verily, truly, truly, I say unto you, he said, he that heareth my word and believeth on him that sent me hath everlasting life. You hear the word of a Mashayach Yahawashi. Whose word are you hearing? You hearing the Most High. You hearing from the Most High when you hear what a Mashayach Yahawashi said here. That's why he said, verily, verily, truly, truly, I say unto you, he that heareth my word and believe on him that sent me, you believe on the Most High, hath everlasting life, and shall not come into condemnation, but is passed from death unto life, man. It's beautiful. You even got to be concerned about what it is. And when you really believe this, it brings you into a higher level of spirituality with the Most High, because you know that you can go to sleep and wake up in the kingdom. Think about it. You can go to sleep and wake up in the kingdom and don't have to see condemnation. St. John, the 1st chapter, the 18th verse. No man has seen the Most High at any time. So when you see the Old Testament side, they seen God, they didn't see the Most High. Power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. No man has seen the Most High at any time. You got to think about it. The only begotten Son, who was the Mashayach Yahawashi. Y'all know John 3:16. For the Most High so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. Y'all know about that. That whosoever believeth him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. So Mashayach Yahawashi is the only begotten Son of the Most High. That's why I said, no man has seen the Most High at any time. The only begotten Son, which is in the bosom of the Father, he hath declared him. You see? And this is the record of John when the Jews sent priests and Levites from Jerusalem to ask him, who art thou? Who are you? And he confessed and denied not, but confessed, I am not Mashayach. You see the Christ, that's Mashayach. Listen, and they asked him, we'll go to something spiritual here. What then? Art thou Elijah? And he said, I am not. Art thou that prophet that Moses, we read about it in Deuteronomy 18:15 and verse 18? And he said, and he answered, no. That's very interesting, right? He said, no, I'm not. But he was. But you know what it tells you? That's why I say, when, if you have man that say that this man is someone of the past, how come we didn't say he was Elijah? Hey, he didn't know. That's why when you go to Ecclesiastes, the first chapter, the 9th verse, it says, the thing that have been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun, right? Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It has been already of old time, which was before us, right? No matter what it is, it's like, because we really don't know our story. We don't really know what's on this earth, pretty much. I know on the pyramid, you think about this, contemplate on this. On the pyramid, on the wall, carved into the wall of the pyramid, is something that looked like a submarine. It's something that looked like a helicopter. It's something that looked like a jet, and something that looked like a blimp on the pyramid wall. It didn't get on. It didn't put it on. They didn't put it on there when these things were invented in our time that we could see. So we really don't know, because a lot of information that we had was taken away from the world while you have the Discovery Channel and the History Channel and so forth. But we had all this information. A lot of information was passed down to us where our minds are vast and receiving a lot of information from the books that we've been able to get from all over the world at this time. But it says there was no remembrance of former things. See? There's no remembrance of former things. So how is it that you would remember something of the past when it says there's no remembrance of former things? That's why John the Baptist said, I'm not Elijah. Neither should there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. You see? That's why he said, are you Elijah? He said, no. Let's look at Luke, the first chapter. Matter of fact, before we go there, go to the last book of Malachi, the last prophet in the Old Testament, be right before Matthew. Malachi 4 and 5. Behold, I will send you Elijah, the prophet, before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the king. It says, and he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children. You got to remember this now, because it's very important as we look at these words that you remember what's being said here, because it'll be said in another verse to justify and verify what it is that's being said here. And he shall turn the heart, that's the mind of the fathers, to the children, and the heart was the mind of the children to their fathers, lest they come and smite the earth with a curse, right? So let's look at Matthew 11 chapter, because remember they asked John, was he Elijah, which was before to come? And he said no. So now, if you believe in the Mashayach Yahawashi, look what he said. We'll look at Matthew 11 chapter, verse 13. It says, Matthew 11 chapter 13 verse, for all the prophets and the law prophesied until John. Right after Malachi, we're going to Matthew, and John the Baptist come on the scene. And if you will receive it, this is Elijah, which was for to come. Once again, and if you will receive it, because I know everybody's not going to receive it, because you have those that have the Sadducee spirit that do not believe in regeneration or reincarnation. So we know you're not going to receive it. Say, and if you will receive it, this is Elijah, which was for to come. He said, he that have ears to hear, let him hear. You see? So that's what Mashayach telling you point blank. Is not Elijah in the flesh, but he's the spirit of Elijah. And he knew that. But remember, there's no remembrance of former things. So you don't remember who you were in the past, but that's why John, they asked him, are you Elijah? He said no. But Mashayach Yahawashi knew. Look at another place. Luke, the first chapter. We're going to go to his daddy and his mom, Zachariah and Elizabeth. Luke, the first chapter. Okay, Zechariah, he was what he did, he had the incense going in front of the temple while the people was outside praying. He had the incense going because that's how we pray. Let's look at verse 11. Let's just read the story. It said, and there appeared unto him an angel of the Most High, standing on the right side of the altar of incense. Don't get it twisted, because a lot of you have entertained angels probably don't even realize it. When they tell you, go to Hebrews 13:2. He was the 13th chapter in the second verse. It says, be not forgetful to entertain strangers, someone that you don't know. For thereby some have entertained angels unawares. You see? I know I've entertained angels before. They popped up and disappeared. Matter of fact, gave me something, then just disappeared. All praise to the Most High. Look, and it says, going back to Luke 1st chapter 11th verse, and there appeared unto him an angel of the Most High. The Most High always deal with angels with us, which are spirits, standing on the right side of the altar of incense. And when Zacharias when Zacharias saw him, he was troubled, and fear fell upon him. He got scared. You think about it. He's in there with the incense, burning the incense, and he all by himself. Next thing you know, bam, this angel appeared on the right side. You ever seen anything like this? You ever seen spirits? Any of you out there? He's seen this angel on the side of the altar. And when Zacharias saw him, he was troubled, and fear fell upon him. But the angel said unto him, fear not, Zacharias, for thy prayer is heard, and thy wife Elizabeth shall bear thee a son, and thou shalt call his name John. This is talking about John the Baptist. That they asked him about, you Elijah? He said no, right? Listen. And thou shalt have joy and gladness, and many shall rejoice at his birth. Listen, for he shall be great in the sight of the Most High, and shall drink neither wine nor strong drink, and he shall be filled with the Holy Spirit, even from his mother's womb. You hear that? He's going to be filled with the Spirit of the Most High, even from his mother's womb. And many of the children of Israel shall he turn to the Most High, their power. And he shall go before him in the spirit, listen, and he shall go before him in the spirit and power of Elijah. See that? The angel was given a word from the Most High. And he shall go before him in the spirit and power of Elijah, to turn the hearts of the fathers to the children. It's the same thing we read in Malachi 4:6, right? To turn the fathers to the children, and the disobedient to the wisdom of the just, to make ready a people prepared for the Most High. You see? And Zachariah said unto the angel, whereby shall I know this? For I am an old man, and my wife well stricken in years. So I'm an old man, and hey, she went through the change of life. That's what he's saying. How this gonna happen? And the angel answered and said unto him, I am Gabriel, that stand in the presence of the Most High, and I'm sent to speak unto thee, and to show these glad tidings. And behold, thou shalt be dumb. That's why y'all better hear this, because I know I read the Bible and I look for things that are solutions. Now, he done came from the Most High to give him this message. And he like, how's it gonna happen? How's it gonna happen? And behold, thou shalt be dumb and not able to speak until the day that these things shall be performed, because thou believest not my words, which shall be fulfilled in their season. That's deep. So you're gonna be dumb and can't talk until those things that he said be performed. That's why you gotta have a good listening ear, yo. You can't just think, oh well. That's why a lot of times too, your first mind is the spirit, and you eliminate that, and then you do something. Say, and sometimes you say, "Wow, something told me that something that was the Most High. That was the Spirit of the Most High telling you what to do." You know, and you didn't listen. And when you don't listen, then that's He's not gonna be dealing with you. But if you listen, then you see it get more and more and more and more that He can send those spirits to talk to you and deal with you or instruct you, either in vision, dreams, or even you know just get into your mind. Understand this, because just like the evil spirits get into people's mind, the righteous spirits will get into your mind also to have you direct you. You know, it's twofold. I mean, if they could do it, the Most High and the Mashayach Yahawashi got the upper hand on everything to have you think right, to speak right, to act right. It's just a matter of you got to be tuned in. That goes back into being spiritual. And your flesh will have you think, oh, like people say, I got my own personal relationship with the Most High, but it's handling the Bible. They can't show me Him. They can't show you what it is do here and now. Why? Because they got to be taught. They just want to follow their own way. It's not going to work. It's never going to work. Let's go to Luke, the 9th chapter. It's all about a Mashayach Yahawashi. And verse 1. Then He called His 12 disciples together and gave them power. Hear this? He gave them power. You see, power in the Bible is spiritual power and authority over all devils and to cure diseases. And He sent them to preach the kingdom of the Most High and to heal the sick. And He said unto them, take nothing for your journey, neither staves nor scrip, neither bread, neither money, neither have two coats apiece. And whatsoever house ye enter into, there abide, and thence depart. Stay in that house. And when you leave from that one house. He said, whosoever will not receive you, hear this clearly. When you go out of that house city, shake off the very dust from your feet for a testimony against them. Like you go to a city, I've been in many cities, they ain't receivers. Like I was just looking at footage that was like 26 or a little over 26 years ago on the streets of Pasadena. They hated us. They despised us, you know. So when you leave that city, shake the dust off your feet. And they departed and went through the towns, preaching the gospel and healing everywhere. See, that was the power that He gave them. John 17:22. John 17:22. And we had the ability to have that same power. It says, John 17:22, and the glory which thou gavest me, I have given them. Hear that? Mashayach Yahawashi, this is a prayer that a Mashayach Yahawashi praying. Matter of fact, since you have these people that think in Christian insanity that a Mashayach Yahawashi is the Most High that came down here in the flesh, and the Most High, was walking around on the earth, and the so-called white man killed the Most High since He crucified Him on a tree, right? And wicked Israel gave the Most High over to the white man, the Romans, and they put Him to death. Think about that. The so-called white man is so powerful that he killed the Most High. That's what y'all saying. But let's see what it is. St. John 17:1. Many examples I have, breakdowns showing that the Most High and the Mashayach Yahawashi are not the same. The Most High, you got a Mashayach Yahawashi, and you got the angels, which are holy spirits. Straight up. Not no, just like we just read about Gabriel, right? And we just read about, don't forget to entertain strangers, for some have entertained angels unaware. That's the spirit of the Most High, isn't it? What they do, they're going to come and give directions. They're going to tell you what he said. They're going to give you instructions, period. That's it. These words spake of Mashayach Yahawashi and lifted up his eyes to heaven and said, Father, why is he praying to the Most High if he is the Most High? If he's the Father, why is he praying to himself? He shouldn't have to pray at all, should he? Think about it, man. It doesn't, I mean, it's like really, really baffling for me to think that people really think that the Most High came down on this earth, and I got to keep putting in your face because you got to tell me that the so-called white man killed the Most High. I'm waiting on you to say that. Since you say that a Mashayach Yahawashi is the Most High, that's saying a lot. That's saying a whole lot. To say that he killed the Most High. That's a whole lot of exaltation, I think. What y'all think? I think that's giving him a lot of power. How do you think the Most High feel? He said, Father. He lifted up his eyes and he prayed to the Most High. Father, the hour is come, glorify thy Son. That's your Son. That your Son, thy Son, also may glorify thee. That's two people. Excuse me, that's two. That's a Mashayach Yahawashi talking to his Father. That's in heaven. As we talk to our Father, the Most High Power, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, which is in heaven. He said, as thou hast given him power over all flesh, that he should give eternal life to as many as thou hast given him. That thou is you. That's the Most High has given a Mashayach Yahawashi. Let's look at verse 5. He said, and now he's still praying. Just a prayer to the Most High when he's here in the flesh. Mashayach Yahawashi was on the earth in the flesh. And now, O Father, he said, glorify thou me. That's two different entities. With thine own self, with the glory which I had with thee before the world was. Read it again. And now, O Father, glorify thou me. He asking the Most High to glorify himself as a Mashayach Yahawashi in the flesh with thine own self, with the glory which I had with thee before the world was. So he wants the glory they had with the Most High before the world was. That's before he made anything. Before Genesis 1 and 1. In the beginning, you know, the Elohim created heaven and the earth. That's the Most High created everything by a Mashayach Yahawashi. These are mysteries that's not even known. Sad to say, but it's real. So he's letting you know he wants that glory that he had with the Most High before the world was. And he got it. He got it. When he ascended to the right hand side of the Most High, the angels brought him before the Most High. He was given that glory. He was given that glory. Acts 1 and 9, it said, and when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up. And the cloud, we know that cloud is a chariot, IFO, received him out of their sight. You see? And once he praying for that glory, right? And Daniel prophesied that he would get the glory. Daniel 7 and 13. Daniel 7:13. It says, I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven. The chariots, the vehicles, the IFOs, as we know them, identified flying objects. I saw in the night visions. It's a vision. Remember, the Most High speak to us in dreams and visions. So Daniel's having this vision. And behold, one like the Son of Man, or Mashayach Yahawashi, came with the clouds of heaven and came to the Ancient of Days. And he brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion. Look, dominion and glory. See, there go that glory. He received what he prayed for right here. You see it. It was given him dominion and glory. He want that glory that he had with the Most High before the world was. Here it is being answered right here. His prayer was answered. And glory and a kingdom that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away. And his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. Right? So now, when you look at how this going to happen, how you going to get his kingdom? Let's look at that. Let's look into that. Go to Revelations 19 and 11. Revelation 19, 11. And I saw heaven open. You see in the vision. He said, I saw heaven open. And behold, a white horse, righteous power. And he that sat upon it was called Faithful and True. Mashayach Yahawashi, coming in righteous power. Or the Most High. And in righteousness, he does judge and make war. See, in righteousness, he does judge and make war. But if you don't know what righteousness is, then how do you know his method of coming to judge and make war? So you got a head start in looking at what the future holds and making sure that, hey, you're trying your best to be righteous. And to be righteous is defined in Deuteronomy 6:25. I mean, this is like something that, you know, you should be automatically, you know, looking at how these words are defined in the Bible. So when you read them in the New Testament, you know what it's saying. What's righteousness? Deuteronomy 6:25. And it should be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Most High, our power, as he hath commanded us, right? So he's coming back, dealing with the judgment with the commandments of the Most High. Going back to Revelation 19. He said, in 11, I saw heaven open and behold a white horse, that's pure righteous power. And he that sat upon it was called Faithful and True. That's a Mashayach Yahawashi. And in righteousness, he does judge and make war. That's something. He gonna judge and make war. He bringing it. Look, it says, his eyes was a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns, powers and authorities given him. Remember, we just read what was given to him in Daniel's 7:13. Prophecy of what he's going to receive. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was and he was clothed with a vesture, which is a garment dipped in blood. And his name is called the Word of the Most High. See that? His name is called the Word of the Most High. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And that's the righteousness, because they coming in righteousness too. But you see, they're not no butt-naked babies. They go clothed in linen, white and clean. And how the angels look. Y'all know that? This here, angels. You know right now, from just reading that, they're not butt-naked babies. no butt naked angels. That's not what's happening. So let's go to Ezekiel. Let's look how the angels look. Ezekiel, the first chapter, and look at verse 7. It said, and their feet were straight feet. Ezekiel, the first chapter, the verse 7. And their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot, straight like a mitten with the big toe and you can see the other four toes, within it like a karate mitt. You do karate and so forth. And the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot, and they sparkled like the color of burnished brass. You see, burnished brass. So they dark-skinned angels. Burnished brass. Get it right. Okay, so now, and the armies, going back to Revelation 19:14, Salakia, and the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine clothes. They got clothes on, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. Okay, and that's it told you the number of them in Revelation 9:16, and the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them. That's 200 million angels. All right. So now, Revelation 19 and 15, because you got to get this dominion. It says, and out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of Almighty Most High. So this is what he's dealing with, bringing forth the judgment on this earth of righteousness. It's got to come somewhere, and he's bringing it. Most High going to use Mashayach Yahawashi to come and judge and make war to set up righteousness on this earth. Ready for that? That's why I say it'd be best to be ready rather than to get ready. And you're looking at the things that's happening so that we can really, get ourselves together. That's why we look at Revelation, the 7th chapter, verse 1. And after these things, I saw four angels standing on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth. They holding back their destruction from this earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree, that the destruction wouldn't come on the earth. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power, Most High. And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea. So these angels are on all four corners of the earth, the north, the south, the east, and the west, holding back the destruction, saying, hurt not the earth, don't hurt the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. You understand? Who the servants of the Most High? That's got to be sealed in their forehead, in their minds. That's what it's saying. They got to be sealed in their minds. These are the things that's going on right now, because the kingdom come without observation, but people will not, they will not observe it because they got everything else going on. Isaiah 44 and 41 determines and defines who the servants are. Remember these, O Jacob and Israel, for thou art my servant. You see? So the Israelites, the ones that he has to be sealed, are the Israelites, period. It has to be the Israelites, no one else. So that's why he said in Revelation 7 and 3, he says, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. You mean? See? In their minds. And then he goes on to say, it's going to be 12,000 from each of the 12 tribes of Israel, which represent the 144,000. So going back to Revelation 19, it says, And verse 15, it says, and out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations. You know? He should smite the nations. And he shall rule them with the rod of iron. That's the laws of the Most High, the commandments of the Most High. And he treaded the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of Almighty Most High. You see that? So when you look at this, when you go to Isaiah, the 63rd chapter, it's prophesied about what would happen to him and with him as he's bringing forth the prophecy that's written here. Isaiah, the 63rd chapter. Isaiah 63, and we're going to look at verse 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? Basra was the capital city of Edom. This is the Caucasians' place of dwelling. This that is glorious in his peril. But you got a vesture on that's dipped in blood. Traveling in the greatness of his strength, I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. I that speak in righteousness, was righteousness, the commandments of the Most High. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save, right? It said, wherefore art thou red in thine apparel? Why is your garment red? And thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat, like you've been stomping on some grapes. It's very important. They asked him a question, why is your garment red? And like you've been stomping on a bunch of grapes, and all the juice from the grapes and just splattered over your garment. He said, I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. I will tread them in mine anger when we come in to judge and make war. He said, going to tread them in his anger and trample them in my fury, and their blood, so that his vesture dipped in blood, their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments. And I will stain all my raiment. That's why you see in Revelation, the 19th chapter, he was saying his vesture was dipped in blood. Now he's letting you know why it's dipped in blood right here. For the day of vengeance, he said, is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. See, he said the day of vengeance in his mind, and the year of his redeemed is come. He said, and I looked. The redeemed is a remnant of the 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel. So it's come. But he said, vengeance is mine, which is his heart. And the year of my redeemed is come. The year of that we're going to be redeemed is come. And I looked, and there was none to help. And I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore, mine own arm brought salvation. That's power, rulership, and authority unto me. And my fury, it upheld me. This is what he say next. Just in case you have in your mind that he's talking about stomping on grapes, he said, and I will tread them, excuse me, and I will tread down the people in my anger and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth. You hear that? What's the strength of this world? The Army, the Navy, the Marines, the Air Force of these nations. And he's saying, going to bring their strength down to the earth. Now, the Most High have many different ways how he's going to bring this down, but I want to show you in let's look at Matthew 24 and 3, because they asked him while he was on the earth. He gave prophecies while he was on the earth, and they asked him a question also. In verse 3, Well, let's start at verse 1, because it's very important. It says, and the Mashayach went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. Right? They built a lot of temples in the land of Israel. And the Mashayach said unto them, see you not all these things? So you see all these things that they're building, these temples and so forth? Say, verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. Straight up, he's telling you, that shall not be thrown down. He said, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, then you know that every temple in the land of Israel has to come down. And they got wars going on right now, and it's like um the prophecy of what the Most High said. You hear what Mashayach Yahawashi said. He said, every stone, he said, there will not be left a stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. Right? And he said, and as they sat upon Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, by themselves, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming? That we just read in Revelation 19:11. And of the end of the world. Right? So now we got to go to 2nd Ezra 6 and 7. Because Ezra was asking the same thing. Ezra was given 204 books, because we had lost the Bible. And Most High opened it back up to us to the prophet Ezra. And we're going to see the same thing that's being asked in 2nd Ezra 6 and 7 in the Apocrypha. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Like they asked him, when's going to be the end of the world? So they asked Ezra, what's going to be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first, like the world we living in now, and the beginning of it that followeth? Because there's going to be a world after this. Trust me and believe this. That's why Mashayach said, coming to set righteousness on this earth. That's the world to come, a righteous world. And he said unto me, verse 8, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, going all the way back to Genesis 25, 25, and 26. Of him, when Jacob and Esau were born of Isaac, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, because they were fighting in the womb. Jacob and Esau. This is what it says. For Esau is the end of the world. So they asked him in Matthew 24 and 3, they asked him, and of the end of the world. I was letting you know. It's answering. It said Esau is the end of the world. And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. That's why we have next forever and ever now. So it's just the way it's going to go down and how he's going to come and judge and make war and set righteousness on this earth. It's the reason why he have to do what he got to do. Because it's written. What we going to do? So you're looking at when you look up Edom in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, or any dictionary for that matter, mainly, but I know I'll look it up in the Zondervan. Because remember it said, who is this that coming from Edom in Isaiah the 63rd chapter? So the elite know this. It's just the average person wouldn't know, because they don't know, the study guides and the things that you would need to be able to really understand what this Bible is talking about. And post job eating preachers, they're not going to bring it forth, they're not going to really bring it forth for what it is. They might lose their position, and they're 501c3, or the people going to stop following them, afraid, just like the Pharisees were afraid of losing their power with the people and the Romans, So look at Edom in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. It's going to fit all in, because it says Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, right? So we look up Edom, it says, this is the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. It says, Edom figures prominently in the prophetic scriptures as a scene of great future judgments. To give you scriptures, say, see notably Isaiah 34, 5 and 6. They say Isaiah 63 and 1. So we're going to read these scriptures that they're giving us to look at. The elite know this. We don't know it as a people because, it won't keep so much. You put it in the book. So we don't read. So she is the only neighbor of the Israelites who was not given any promise of mercy from the Most High. That's what they know. That's the last thing they wrote pertaining to Edom, but it starts way on the other page. That's the last sentences that they wrote pertaining to Edom. They know we don't read, so hey, you probably wouldn't read all of that to get to the last sentence and see what they're saying concerning themselves. So they gave the scripture of Isaiah 34 and 5 and 6. We have to look at this because Mashayach Yahawashi coming back to judge and make war, and he's telling you that Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob was the beginning of that follow, letting you know that Esau would have to be ruling at the end of the world. And people are saying that the so-called white man is not Esau, they're not the Edomites. So who is it that's going to take down Russia? They got to take down Russia. They got to take down America to be able to actually be ruling as Esau in the end of the world, right? Come on. He just said, hey, he going to bring salvation to himself. Salvation is power, roots, and authority. He said he's going to bring it to himself right there in Isaiah 63rd chapter. We just read that. So let's look at what they gave us in Isaiah 34 and 5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. So now, this is what they gave us a look at. So we look up Idumea in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, since it's the one that I have in my hand. It's close by. Can't get no closer than this. Be it in my hand, it's Idumea. Let's look up Idumea. Idumea. It says Idumea. It says pertaining to Edom, Greek and Roman name for Edom. So it's pertaining to the so-called white man's. They're the Edomites, but not necessarily because of their color. It's that spirit. Because some people that look like Edomites, they could be the seed of Gehazi that was cursed with leprosy, or anyone else that's cursed with leprosy. That's the people of his curses, meaning they don't have any pigment and melanin. That's the curse that he put upon them. They came out, when they came out, Isaac said, I shy, wasted away as he, because they don't have any, pigment and melanin like everybody else does. So now, going back to Isaiah 34 and 5, it says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, because they got to be ruling at the end of the world, the Edomites, and upon the people of my curse to judgment, right? Say the sword of the Most High, while Mashayach Yahawashi is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and of goats, and with the fats of kidneys of rams. For the Most High has a sacrifice in Basra. That's the capital city of Edom, when we read Isaiah, the 63rd chapter, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. I mean, it said no mercy. Mercy is not getting something you do deserve to get. So if they know that there's no mercy from the Most High, that means that they're going to get what they're supposed to get, point blank, without a shadow of a doubt. That's why I look at Amos 9 and 8. Amos 9 and 8. Amos 9 and 8. Behold, the eyes of the Most High, that's 10,000 times brighter than the sun, are upon the sinful kingdom. And America is a very sinful kingdom. The things that they're doing, man, it's beyond imagination. So some things Most High says so wicked, you ain't supposed to talk about. Behold, the eyes of the Most High power are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth. saving, you're going to save somebody, that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, said the Most High. But lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel from among all nations. He going to sift us. He scatters among all nations. He going to sift us and gather us from all these nations, the 12 tribes of Israel, that remnant, like as corn is sifted in a seed, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. You see? And he come back to say, all the sinners, that least is the 1/3, mind you, that remnant is not going to fall on the earth, because you on the earth, when things go down, like we going to read about what's going to go down, how you coming back to make judge and make war, and you on this earth, you're going to be messed up, man. But lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, because we scattered among all nations. Like as corn is sifted in a seed, yet shall not the least, that's the 1/3, grain fall upon the earth. That's the remnant. He said, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. See? That's why I say, hey, you better be trying to follow the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High. You really want to make it, because he told you, go to Revelation 18. It's right here, man. It's all over. I mean, it's everywhere talking about, they asked him, after you walk the earth for 40 days, you going to restore the kingdom to Israel? He said, only the Most High know. Revelation 18. Look. When we see the eyes of the Most High upon the simple kingdom, you're going to destroy it from out the face of the earth. So now, 18:1, it says, Revelation 18:1, and after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen. America is fallen, has become the habitation of devils, deceitful and evil people, and the hold of every foul spirit right here in America, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Listen, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, everything that's against the Most High. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacy. And I heard another voice for us from heaven saying to us, we the Israelites, come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins. See, that's why you got to know the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments, so you don't be part of her sins. You see that? Because that's what it would say. It's habitation of devils, and a hold of every foul spirit. That's why you got to get your life right. You got to be right. You got to find out what the Most High would have us to do, and stop offending him. Do what he say do. That's why it says. And I heard another voice from heaven saying to us, we the 12 tribes of Israel, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. That this place going to be plagued. And it's being plagued. It's being plagued right now. But if you part of her sins, you're going to get these plagues. That's why people got all these different, diseases that's coming out. You can't get rid of them. They laugh at penicillin and all that, man. You got all kind of stuff going on right now. That flesh-eating disease, eat you from the inside out. That's pretty powerful. All praise to the Most High. He took me from a week before it hit Skid Row. Have been going to Skid Row for 12 years. When you say, you have to learn to listen. In that week before, it just hit all of Skid Row. That flesh-eating disease. Most I said, don't go no more. And I didn't go. And I found out that next week I went, it was right there, man. You had to take everybody off the street and bleach the street for a long time to get rid of that. Serious plagues on this earth, man. See what coronavirus did. For her sins have reached unto heaven. Remember, the Most eyes are upon the sinful kingdom. Said her sins have reached unto heaven. And the Most High remembered her iniquities. So reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. Things she have done, she gonna get double. In the cup which she have filled, filled to her double. So whatever they done, they gonna get double. It's all right, because we got double. Oside's fair, he's just. And nobody cry about what happened to us, but they cry about when you hear what it is that they gonna get. Go to Isaiah the 40th chapter, the first verse, and the second verse. It says, comfort ye, my people, said your power. Most High power, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. He says, speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem, and cry unto her that her warfare is accomplished. See the warfare that we have against the Most High and not doing what he says we're supposed to do is accomplished. That her iniquity is pardoned. You know, that's love that the Most High for us. He said, our iniquity is pardoned. Listen what it says. For we the 12 tribes of Israel, have received of the Most High's hand double for all her sins. See that? So they're going to get double. We receive double, and we the chosen people of the Most High. And he gave us double. For she had received double for all her sins. You see it, it's right there. Going back to Revelation 18. Verse 6, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double under her, double according to her works. Like we got double for our sins, they're going to get double for theirs. In the cup which she have filled to her double. Straight up. It say, how much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her. But she said in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Like, you know, they're like, we are the baddest Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force in the world. Nobody could touch us. That's what they say. Right? Therefore shall her plagues come in one day. I hope you're not a part of this. Death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. But strong is the Most High power who judges her. That's coming from the Most High. Strong is the Most High power that judging her. So what you gonna do? That's why I said we have to have our spirit right with the Most High. I tell you, that's the only way. You ain't gonna, you gonna avoid what's coming here, because everybody got their missiles pointed right here at America. Let's look at something now. Wisdom of Solomon 5 and look here. It says, Wisdom of Solomon, the Apocrypha 5 and 20. So his severe wrath shall be sharpened for a sword, and the world shall fight with him against the unwise, right? They're going to fight with him, Mashayach Yahawashi, against the unwise. They say, then shall the right aiming thunderbolts go abroad. Remember, Mashayach said, coming to judge and make war? He said, all these right aiming thunderbolts, they're going to go abroad. And from the clouds, from the IFOs, from what the white man called the UFOs, we call them IFOs, from the clouds, as from a well-drawn bow. See that? As from a well-drawn bow, shall they fly to the mark. These missiles, man. That's all we can think of, right? But it's talking about, and hailstones full of wrath shall be cast as out of a stone bow. How are you going to fight this? How are you going to stop something from coming from the sky? When the Mashayach said, coming to judge and make war with the power of the Most High. You hear that? and hailstones full of wrath shall be cast as out of a stone bowl, and the water of the sea, you're going to raise the water up, shall raise against them, and the flood shall cruelly drown them. Remember, he put the rainbow in the sky to remind himself that he's not going to flood the earth, but he's going to cruelly drown people. He's going to raise the sea up to drown people. After you sit the missiles, look, yeah, a mighty wind, it's like a tornado, hurricane, a mighty wind shall stand up against them. This warfare, how you going to fight this? You can't fight this now. All the disasters they have on this earth. They be saying, oh my God, that's all you hear. Yeah, a mighty wind, a tornado, like you ain't never seen before. A hurricane, he already said the sea gonna rise the sea up and cruelly drown people. Now he's saying, yeah, a mighty wind shall stand up against them, and like a storm shall blow them away. Thus iniquity shall lay waste the whole earth, and all dealings shall overthrow the thrones of the mighty. Overstand this. And it's powerful. So these are the things that we're looking at, and go to the book of Peter 3, First Peter's 3rd chapter. And Second Peter's 3. And we're gonna look at verse 9. And give a like to the video and subscribe to the channels. It says in 2 Peter 3:9, it says, the Most High is not slack concerning his promise. And you've heard the promises, all the things that we've heard tonight. As some men count slackness, but is long suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. You know? That's why you got to look at, what he's saying. He said he wished that no one would perish, but he want everybody to come to repentance. He told us, Acts, the 3rd chapter, Acts 3:19. He said, repent ye therefore and be converted. I mean, you got to change. You have to change. That your sins may be blotted out, when the times of refreshing shall come from the presence of Mashayach Yahawashi. And he shall send a Mashayach Yahawashi, which before was preached unto you, whom the heaven must receive until the times of restitution of all things, when he send them back to judge and make war and set righteousness on this earth, which the Most High has spoken by the mouth of all his holy prophets since the world began. See, so now when you look at about the Second Peter's the 3rd chapter, because it said all the prophets prophesied about this day that we're waiting on right now. It says, as a matter of fact, let me show you that. And go to 1 Peter 1. We're going to look at verse 10. 1 Peter 1:10, it said, with salvation, salvation is power, rulership, and authority. With salvation, the prophets have inquired and searched diligently who prophesied of the grace that's getting something that you don't deserve, that should come unto you. That's what we have now, grace. Through Mashayach Yahawashi, being that ultimate lamb sacrifice for the sins of the 12 tribes of Israel. Searching what? Listen what they were searching. Searching what? Or what matter of time the spirit of a Mashayach Yahawashi, which was in them. You see? The spirit of Mashayach Yahawashi was in them. Did signify when it testified beforehand the sufferings of a Mashiach and the glory that should follow. That's what we're looking at now. Remember, he prayed in St. John, the 17th chapter, the 5th chapter. Excuse me, the 5th verse. He prayed for the glory that he had with the Most High before the world was. And remember, Daniel seen it, that glory given back to him in Daniel 7 and 13, as we read, dominion and glory that he received. It's coming. That's why we're looking at it right now. It's coming, gonna be at hand, We're going back to 2 Peter 3, the 3rd chapter, and verse 10. But the day of the Most High Mashayach Yahawashi will come as a thief in the night. You don't know when the thief coming. In the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. So the heavens gonna pass away with a great noise, and the elements, that's the atoms, the protons, the neutrons, the electrons, shall melt away with fervent heat. And the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. You're going to burn it up. So there's two purifying elements. You got water and you have fire. And the Most High going to use the fire to cleanse this earth. And a lot of places are going to be just burned up, period. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and righteousness, right? So we know to be holy is Romans 7 and 12, right? Holy conversation. So what would be a holy conversation? You're talking about these scriptures. You're talking about something besides yourself, or ourselves, I might say. Conversation about the word. In Romans 7 and 12. Wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment holy and just and good, you see? So you're supposed to be talking about the commandments of the Most High, the laws of the Most High, about the Most High, period. Second Peter 3 and 11, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and righteousness, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of the Most High, while Mashayach Yahawashi, wherein the heavens being on fire. See that? The heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. Remember, he's coming to judge and make war in righteousness. So we're looking for righteousness to be on this earth. And that's the laws, the same commandments that these preachers are saying that we not under. Straight up. Wherefore, beloved, seeing that ye look for such things, be diligent that ye may be found of him in peace, without spot, without sins, and blameless. You see? Well, who's he talking to when he say beloved? Class, y'all should know how to find that. I've been there many a times. Who's the beloved? Help me out. Who's the beloved? Anyone know? Can y'all help me out? I need a little help. Come on, class. How do we know who the beloved is? I don't know. What if I didn't know? Y'all help me out? Anyone? Oops. Nobody know how to define who the beloved is. It's clear. Okay. Baruch 3:36. Just define the beloved. He's saying beloved. It's very important. It helps to be able to break down these scriptures without a shadow of a doubt. Nobody can gainsay on it. Look, just to be loved. Baruch 3:36. He have found out all the way of knowledge, and knowledge is gathering information, and have given it unto Jacob, his servant, and to Israel, his beloved. See that? To Israel, his beloved. So the Israelites are the beloved. You see, beloved, Beloved, is talking to the Israelites. You see, because we're the beloved. As it just said, Israel, my beloved. So that's how you know it's talking to the Israelites. So we have to um we have to be ready for what's going down ourselves, because we in those times, as you can see, very much so. It's time that we look into best our abilities to change and come away from the way this world would have you to be, and humble yourself and get away from the pride, because all pride people are going to be put to death. It's hateful before man and the Most High. Look, go to Matthew 10:34. Matthew 10:34. Some people, they don't accept. I look at a lot of people, they don't really accept that Mashayach Yahawashi. Matthew 10:34 said, think not, so again, think that I am come to send peace on earth. He said, I came not to send peace, but a sword. That sword, we read in Revelation 19:15. You can go back there again. He said, but a sword. Look, Revelation 19:15. And out of his mouth go up a sharp sword, that with it, this sharp sword, he should smite the nations. He should kill the nations. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. That's the laws, the commandments of the Most High. And he treaded the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of the Almighty Most High, man. So everybody got to bow down to what it is that he's bringing forth. Once he said, like he said, hey, the Muslims going to be shot into the ends of the world. And he tell us, man, like, people not really recognizing, man, this is real. Go to the book of Isaiah 13. Verse 6 says, howl ye. For the day of the Most High is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. It says 8 said, verse 7, therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart, every man's mind shall melt, and they shall be afraid. It say, pains and sorrow shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They're going to be in pain like a woman that's having contractions when she has a baby. See, that woman says that's some of the most, excruciating pains that a woman can have, those labor pains. That's how it's going to be for men. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames, because that fire going to be everywhere. Say, behold, and you know the flames, you know who turned red. Behold, the day of the Most High cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate. And he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. You know that? See, all the sinners of my people are going to die by the sword. Amos 9 and 10. He's going to destroy the sinners out of it. So you're going to tell me that's not very important to come back to the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments and follow what he say do? For the stars of heaven, these celebrities or people that's in the high places in this earth, and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. Even the stars, they're not going to give their light for all the destruction that's going to be happening on this earth, y'all. The sun shall be darkened in its going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine, because it's not talking about they're not going to, it's not going to be shining. It's talking about from the destruction that's going to be happening. That's what it's talking about. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 43 just to prove that. And it says, he made the moon. This is, Ecclesiastes 43 and 6. It said, he made the moon also to serve in her season for declaration of times and a sign of the world. For the moon is a sign of feast, a light that decreases in her perfection, right? It says, the month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully in her changing, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven, the beauty of heaven, the glory of the stars, an ornament giving light in the highest places of the Most High in the sky. It says, at the commandment of the Most High, the Holy One, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they will stand in their order and never faint in their watches, okay? So they ain't gonna never faint. That moon, the sun, the stars gonna be there. That's why it's not talking about those stars that's gonna be, disappear or whatever. It's talking about the destruction that's gonna come in this earth that we talking about. He said in verse 10 of Isaiah 13 chapter, for the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give her light, for all the destruction that's be going on. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine, because of all the destruction. He said, I will punish the world for their evil. See, he's telling you what he's doing. He said, I'm going to punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. You see, for breaking the Most High's laws and being wicked and being evil. And I will cause the arrogancy, that's the proud, to cease. That's why I say, be proud if you want to. He's going to cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. That's what he say he's going to do. He said, I will make a man more precious than fine gold. If you do what he say do, you keep his laws, statutes, and commandments, fear him, be afraid and be scared of him. You hear what he just said? He ain't finished. Y'all don't want to fear the Most High. You better think again. So I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. That's the best gold. Some men gonna be made like this. He said, in 2 Ezra 9:22, it said, let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain. And let my grape, that's a grape, and my plant, that's a plant, be careful. He said, for with great labor have I made it perfect. Right? So this ain't for everyone. Somebody deserved, a lot of people deserve the lake of fire because they don't care. Listen, here we go, verse 13. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place. He said the earth will remove out of her place. What you gonna do? We talk about the earthquake, you talk about the earth moving out of its place. And the wrath of the Most High and the Mashayach Yahawashi power of army of angels. What you gonna do then? What's your defense against this? And in the day of his fierce anger, he goes on to say, and it shall be as a chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people. When it's wartime, everybody gonna turn to their own people, and they're gonna be like a chased deer. Everybody gonna turn to his own people and flee everyone into his own land. We don't have no land to flee into, y'all. That's why we must be having our act together. Because we don't have a land to flee into. Everybody will be going back to their own land. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through. Everyone that's found will be killed. And for all you sambos, everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword, it says. All you that's joined unto them gonna fall by the sword. Straight up. Fall by the sword. So their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled and their wives ravished. This is what the Most High prophesied what's going to happen, young. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver. Ain't no pay. We ain't paying them nothing. We looking at this right now in our face right now. He said, gonna stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver. And as for gold, they shall not delight in it. You're gonna be able to pay them nothing. He said, their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces. That's the missiles. And they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb, the women that are pregnant. Their eyes shall not spare children. Children. In Babylon, America, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And you know what the Most High did to Sodom and Gomorrah? He destroyed those 5 cities. It shall never be inhabited. Hear that? Neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation, neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there. Neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. Ain't nobody gonna be here. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and Saturn shall dance there. Nobody's ever gonna live here. Ever, 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 ever again. See? That's why we have to, as much as possible, work to be a part of not being amongst this destruction that's going to happen. Why he said, except for 9, 2, and 1. Except for 9, 2, and 1. He said, gather yourselves together. Yeah. Gather together, O nation not desired. That's us, man. Remember, how much Yahawashi was despised, right? They tell you how Paul and the apostles were despised. And it's terrible, man, how even with the prophets, man, look what happened to the prophets, man. You're talking about despised, man. Look at second Ezra, the first chapter, verse 32. I, who is the Most High, I send unto you my servants the prophets, whom ye have taken and slain. We killed the prophets and torn their bodies in pieces, whose blood I will require of your hands, said the Most High. What he said, I sent unto you my servants the prophets, whom ye have taken and slain. You killed the prophets that the Most High sent and torn their bodies in pieces. Not only we did this, we know that the Greeks did it. Antiochus Epiphanes, I just went over how Eleazar, he was 90 years old. They tortured him to death because he wouldn't eat swine. And a mother, just a case scenario, and her 7 sons, they tortured them. Cut their tongues out, cut their body parts off, and boiled them in hot cauldron of whatever they had boiling in it. What a way to go. I send unto you my servants, the prophets, whom ye have taken and slain, and torn their bodies in pieces. Not only kill them, but just, how do you hate someone just to tear their bodies in pieces? Whose blood I will require of your hands, said the Most High. So we did a lot of things that's wrong. That's why the Most High said, for those that are wants to be part of the remnant, Zephaniah, the first chapter, verse 14. The great day of the Most High is, Mashayach Yahawashi is near. It is near, and hastens greatly. People don't see it. They just think this world gonna last forever, and everything gonna keep on going the way it is. I mean, just like he said in the day of Noah, everybody's having fun doing this and doing that. Then it came. The rain came. And everybody was beating against the door, but it was too late when that ark door shut. It is near and hastens greatly, even the voice of the day of the Most High that you hearing. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. It's like a lot of bravery to me. Say the mighty man shall cry there bitterly. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet, an alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. Ain't no real security. When the Most High sent forth the wrath that we done read about in this lesson. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, like they can't even see, because they have sinned against the Most High. You think it ain't important? We read what sin is in 1 John 3 and 4. The transgression of the Most High's laws, the laws that the Most High wrote with his finger. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Most High. And their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Most High's wrath. Care how much money you have, he said. You ain't going to be able to deliver yourself. It ain't going to do you no good. Who said, neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Most High's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. But he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. That's why he told us, Zephaniah 2:1, he said, gather yourselves together. Yeah. Gather together, O nation not desired, before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as a shaft. Let you know the day that's coming, man, is just like the part of the wheat that just the wind just blow away. Part that we don't have to use. That's how you looking at it. Before the fierce anger of the Most High, while Mashayach Yahawashi come upon you, before the day of the Most High's anger come upon you, say, seek ye the Most High, all ye meek of the earth. So you talking about the proud? He says, seek ye the Most High, all you meek, all you that's humble of the earth. Which have wrought his judgment. And we read in Psalms 147, 19 and 20. He showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgment unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation. As for his judgment, they have not known it. Praise ye the Most High. We read that. We the ones as the Israelites that have wrought his judgment for breaking the Most High's laws. Seek righteousness, he said. Let's define righteousness. That's why I say it's very important to know these key words to be able to observe it and get closer to the Most High. Psalms 119, 172 defines righteousness. You know, Deuteronomy 6:25 and the law does. And here it is again, defining itself right here. In Psalms 119, 172, my tongue shall speak of thy word, for all thy commandments are righteousness. You see? So it's come back to the commandments, no matter how you look at it. He said, Zephaniah 2 and 3, seek ye the Most High, all ye meek of the earth, all you that's humble of the earth, which have wrought his judgment, we the 12 tribes of Israel. Seek righteousness. He says, seek the commandments and the laws of the Most High. Seek meekness. Seek to be humble. He said, it may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Most High's anger. It may be you may be hid in the day of a Mashayach Yahawashi's anger. We read about him being angry. Well, all the Edomite's blood gonna be all over his garment. Well, you gotta look at this for what it is. So now he said you may be hid in the day of the Most High while Mashayach Yahawashi's anger. That's where we want to be. I want to go to let you know second Ezra's the second chapter. You want to be hid in the day of the Most High's anger. Now, before we go there, we want to make sure that we look at go to First Thessalonians. We want to make sure we make this trip. First Thessalonians 4 and 16. For the Most High, while Mashayach Yahawashi himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of the Most High, and the dead that have died by Shema Mashayach Yahawashi shall rise first, right? Then we, which are alive, then you know we're going to be alive, a lot of us going to be alive, and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds, with in the chariots, to meet Mashayach Yahawashi in the air. And so shall we ever be with Mashayach Yahawashi. Wherefore comfort one another with these words. That's why he said, look, go to Revelations 11 and 12, I believe. And I heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. I said, come on up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud. We know that cloud is defined. We defined it earlier in Psalms 104 and 3. It's a chariot of the Most High, the eye of old, identified flying object that's run by the angels. They'll say, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud. And their enemies beheld them. Hear this? Enemies gonna behold us, right? And when you go to Wisdom of Solomon, they're gonna be looking at us. Most High will to be us going up in these chariots, right? And you tell you what they're gonna say. Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. Let's start at verse 1, because this is what we're dealing with now. It say, then said a righteous man, those that keep the commandments of the Most High, stand in great boldness in the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. That's what we're doing right now. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear. Don't get it twisted. They see it as they're going to be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed. This is what I want to go to, at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all they look for. So you just heard him say that in Revelation 11 and 12, it said, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven. So we going up in these chariots in a cloud, which is the chariots of the Most High, and their enemies beheld them. So our enemies going to be seeing us going up in these chariots, these IFOs, right? And what they're going to say? Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 2, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all they look for. And they, repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit, shall say within themselves, this was he? What they're going to be saying as they looking up. This was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach, a disgraceful names for them. We fools account of this life madness and its end to be without honor, right? How was he numbered among the children of the Most High and this loudest among the saints? They don't believe what we bring it up. Therefore have we erred from the way of truth and the light of righteousness. We know righteousness is keeping of the laws of the Most High. The commandments of the Most High have not shined unto us. And the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. This is what they say. Verse 7, we wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yeah, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way. But as for the way of the Most High and the Mashayach Yahawashi, we have not known it. So it don't matter how much is being taught, it's going to be those that's going to say, we have not known the way of the Most High while Mashayach Yahawashi. Say, what have pride profited us? Or what good have riches with our vaunting brought us? You see, all those things are passed away. Don't mean nothing. Remember, their silver and their gold, they ain't gonna be accept nothing. They don't want to deal with this at all. It's not even gonna matter. All those things are passed away like a shadow, and as a post that hastens by. See, and as a ship that passes over the waves of the water, which when it is gone by, the trace thereof cannot be found. That's how they're going to be. Neither the pathway of the keel in the waves, man. They're just going to talk about this. But after they saying all those things, you can read all the things that they're going to say. After they say all those things, then when you look at verse 12, verse 13, well, let's read verse 12 again, because it says in Revelation 11 chapter, it says, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, just like we read in First Thessalonians 4:16. And their enemies beheld them. Now, you know what they're going to be saying. You can continue to read what they were saying from Wisdom of Solomon 5th chapter on down. Then after they done said all the things they said, verse 13. And the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, gonna be destroyed. And in the earthquake was slain of men 7,000. Complete number of men gonna be killed. 7 is the number of completion. 7000 is 7 when you add them up. A complete number of men gonna be put to death. And the remnant were frightened. You hear that remnant? That remnant was a frightened. That's that 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel. And gave glory to the Most High power of heaven. You see? That's why we got to look at that remnant, which is Zechariah 13:8. Zechariah 13:8. It said, "It shall come to pass that in all the land, said the Most High, two parts therein, which is 2/3, shall be cut off and die." That's remember it said, the eyes of the Most High upon the simple kingdom, he's going to destroy from off the face of the earth, but he's not going to destroy that least. So this the two parts. That's the 2/3 therein shall be cut off and die. 2/3 going to die of our people. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. 2/3 of those people going to die. But the third shall I be left therein. The third, that's a 1/3, that's a remnant. If you have different means that he talks about as far as dealing with this 1/3. It's the remnant, the election, the elect, the few, the all, which is a certain number, which we know is that 1/3. The justified, the glorified, the sanctified, the chosen, and so forth and so on, of all these different identities pertaining to this remnant or this 1/3 that's going to be left therein. It said, "And I will bring the third part through the fire," see, "and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people. It is my people. It is my people." We know my people are the 12 tribes of Israel. Matthew 2:6. We went over this earlier. "And they shall say, the most high power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is my power." There it is. So that's that 2/3 that is saying going to be, redeemed from this earth. 1/3 of them, 2/3 going to be put to death, so locked up. So in Matthew 24:36, it says, "But of that day that we're going over, and out, knoweth no man," Mashayach Yahawashi said, "no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only." Only the Most High knows who's going to bring this. What we done read, into the earth. But we want to be here. Go to Second Ezra, the second chapter, and verse 26. "As for the servants whom I have given thee," so called white man, "and all other nations that have us in captivity, slavery, and bondage, and scattered among these nations, there shall not one of them perish. For I will require them from among thy number." It said, "Be not weary, but when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh," that we're reading about, and have read about and studied, "others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, said the Most High. See, my hand shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see hell. Be joyful, O thou mother." It's a lot of mothers that has to deal with, raising their children, but they still in this truth. "Be joyful, O thou mother, with thy children, for I will deliver thee, said the Most High." Just stay strong, he said. And never give up and endure until the end. To remember thy children that sleep. What we just read about in 1 Thessalonians 4:16. "For I shall bring them out of the sides of the earth and show mercy unto them. For I am merciful, said the Most High Power Almighty." Embrace thy children until I come, and show mercy unto them. For my wells run over, and my grace shall not fail, man. Come on. That's why we go to Job 5, Job 5th chapter, in verse 17. This is what we're working for, a hope. Job 5 and 17. All this destruction that's going on, it said, behold, um, happy is the man whom the Most High corrected. Therefore despise not thou the chastening of the Almighty. So the Most High chastening us, correcting us, we make it sore and bind it up. He wounded, and his hands make whole. He said, he shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. A whole lot of troubles that we've seen within this lesson that we went over tonight. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yeah, and 7, there shall no evil touch thee. In famine, he shall redeem thee from death, and make sure that you have food to eat. Because you're going to be dying for the lack of bread. Great tribulation. He said, and in war is coming on this earth. It's already here. From the power of the sword, some people going to be right here. Like it's saying here, thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, whatever they saying. Neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. That's a great feeling to have. You know that all these bombs going to be shot into the ends of the world and just missiles and so forth, and you're going to be able to be here. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue. Neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. Come on. At destruction and famine, thou shalt laugh. To be laughing at destruction and famine, it's a great place to be, man. Say, neither shall thou be afraid of the beast of the earth. Let you know the beast of the earth is going to be eating people up and killing people. But thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, stones of the world, man. And the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. That's what you want to be. Thou shalt know that thy tabernacle shall be in peace, and thou shalt visit thy habitation and shall not sin. There it is again. Shall not sin. So you can't say that you ain't under the law. It's not for those. You say, we're going to visit our habitation and shall not sin. Thou shalt know also that thy seed shall be great. Most I say, a little one going to bring forth 1,000, a small one, a strong nation. And thine offspring as the grass of the earth. That's a lot. Thou shalt come to thy grave in a full age, like a stalk of corn cometh in its season. Lo, this, we are searched it, so it is. Hear it, and know thou it for thy good. Hear that? Say, search it, and know it for your good. We're going to end with Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter and the 13th verse. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter, since we end the last words of this lesson. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High. Be afraid, be scared of the Most High. And keep his commandments. Hear that? Keep his commandments. Don't listen to nobody tell you got to do what he say do. Keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty of man. Say, for the Most High shall bring every work into judgment. People tell me ain't about your works. Most High gonna bring every work into judgment with every secret thing. Listen, whether it be good or whether it be evil. And we know good is the keeping of the commandments of the Most High, or whether it be evil, not keeping the commandments of the Most High. And with that, I say, Krum Abanawa Yahweh, our Father Most High, Krum Mashayach Yahawashi, rise, Most High, rise, Mashayach Yahawashi, and Krum Yasharallah, rise, 12 tribes of Israel. The water for joining me, and I'm out.